What's going on, everybody? This is Steve from Bloom Audio. Today we're going to talk about the Noble Focus Rex5. Now, it was almost 4 years ago that on this channel we reviewed the Noble Falcon Pro. Falcon Pro at the time seemed pretty revolutionary for its sound quality. It was a wireless earphone, TWS, that just completely blew pretty much everything else out of the water in terms of the sound, but in terms of the, Bluetooth connectivity, other features, some of the consistency with connection, the availability of things like active noise canceling even. It was a few steps behind most of the mainstream consumer options out there. Noble has made a number of improvements in the tech in their TWS offerings over the last few years, but some of their more audiophile focused wireless options are still a little bit more bare bones with the feature. With Rex5, they aim to combine the audiophile hi-fi aspect of the product with a higher tier and higher quality of features and connectivity. How they do? Let's take a closer look. In terms of the general build and design, Rex5 comes in a pretty similar package to previous Noble TWS options. It's a nice little kind of cubic cardboard box, includes ear tips, a case, all charge cable, all the standard stuff. The IEMs themselves have this kind of speckled green pattern, which definitely stands out. It's not going to have the same sort of standout luxurious look as like the Focus Prestige, which were of course a little more expensive too, but these are still pretty expensive at that $449 price point. Definitely looks like a quality IEM either way. Now, in terms of the specs, Rex5 uses a 5-driver configuration with a single 10mm dynamic driver, a 6mm planar driver, and 3 balanced armatures. It uses Bluetooth 5.4 and supports AAC, aptX adaptive, and LDAC codecs. So in terms of that basic tech stuff, support for Bluetooth 5.4, aptX adaptive, and LDAC are a strong start here. Another thing is previous Focus models have been kind of hit or miss on the fit. Rex5 fits really well. One of the best fitting Noble TWSs that I've experienced in terms of the fit consistency and comfort there. Like I said, the rest of the package is pretty standard here. Of course, one nice note on the case is that they've made some room in there for a variety of ear tips. So, most TWS use a smaller ear tip than standard. If you do want to use a more standard ear tip with these, the case is going to accommodate that without interfering with the charging. In terms of the sound, it is actually a little bit difficult to talk about the sound here because a lot of the features here revolve around sound customization. Right out of the box, the tuning leans a little bit bright towards a more reference sort of signature, good clarity, somewhat forward vocals, strong separation, a good 3-dimensional space, but not a lot of, mid-bass punch or really fullness, thickness, or warmth in the sound. So if you want to leave the app and all the other tech out of it, what you end up with is a pretty solid set of wireless IEMs with a sound signature that leans a little bit bright with the emphasis on detail and clarity that are a little bit more comfortable than your average set of Noble IEMs, and just kind of a solid all-around package, but maybe nothing particularly special. And that's why you definitely need to dig in with the app on these. So another thing Noble has made big improvements to over the years is their app. Earlier versions of the Noble app were often a little bit hard to use. You had some inconsistency with the connections and other things. Rex5 for me, connected it to my phone, loaded up the app, connected the Rex5. It was working right away, and I was able to get into some of the fun stuff. So there's basically 3 different types of EQ here. The first one is done through a hearing test. So once you've got the IEMs paired and plugged in, you can open up the app and start the hearing test. This is going to play a series of tones at different frequencies to get an idea of where your hearing is stronger and weaker in terms of the volume across the frequency spectrum. It's going to do this in both ears, and once that's done, it's going to give you a little curve that's sort of like your own personal adjustment. You can turn this on and off, or you can take the hearing test again. And one nice thing about it is that it's all seamless in the app. No need to sign up for another account, go to a website, install another app, or anything like that. And once all that's done, there's sort of a second tier of EQ here called EQ Curve. This is a little bit more of a free form EQ adjustment. They have a little lever that you can set to darker, brighter, and then you can adjust that yourself to sort of just get more of a broad sweep. It's basically just 3 bands of a parametric EQ here. And once you do that, then you've got a standard 10-band graphic EQ that comes along with a number of preferences. And now these stack on top of each other. So basically your first adjustment is that personal EQ. The second adjustment is that EQ curve where you can set more broad preference sort of adjustments. And then finally that 10-band EQ with the preference. Another cool thing here is that personal EQ is going to stick in the IEMs no matter where you use them. So if you're using them, with your phone and also with a laptop or something else, that element of it is wired into the TWS and is going to go with you with other devices until you do a reset on those. The other EQ options aren't going to be carried along though. So after spending some time listening, without any of the EQ options, setting up my personal EQ, messing with the curves and the 10-band and all that other stuff, the whole experience was pretty impressive. And I wanted to compare it to another more advanced set of wireless headphones that I've used. So right now, my daily driver for a TWS is the Sennheiser Momentum Sport TWS, which has all kinds of stuff, heart rate monitor and temperature control, and all these other EQ, hearing test, and those sorts of features as well. So my question here, how does the latest tech that Noble is including in a TWS for audiophiles stack up to a bit more of a mainstream option here and a very gadgety feeling TWS from Sennheiser? Now, in terms of the sound, Momentum TWS has a really clean sense to the sound, but maybe it's not quite as exciting, even as energetic out of the box as Rex5 is. And they do have some options in there to set up your EQ and other things as well. But as you start exploring the app, one of the first things you're going to notice is you need to sign up for another account in order to access that under the promise of, you can carry these settings with you to other devices by just logging in. But it adds an extra step in there as part of it. And that's something I really appreciated about Noble's experience, was that it was one and done. I downloaded the app. All of the features of Rex5 were included in the app without the need to sign up for any additional services. And that's in this modern age of services and subscription and needing 10 accounts to do just about anything. I really appreciate that in Rex5's design. And if we're talking about feature parity here, other than the fact that Rex5 makes you change your ANC setting only by pressing on the earbud and doesn't allow you to do that through the app, while Sennheiser allows you to do both through the tap setting and through the app, I really felt like Noble won on the sound specific features here. There were more EQ options. Everything felt more robust from a sound perspective. And this would apply to the standard Momentum 4 as well, which uses the same Sennheiser app. And it just really struck me as generally I recommend Sennheiser's Momentum series as that sort of balance between I want the features, I want the connectivity to just work, I want have a good app and all of that, but I want it to sound good. I think Sennheiser has done a great job of that, and that's part of the reason why the Momentum has been my daily driver. But Rex5 here seems to be making a pretty strong case for Noble moving into that territory, giving you a full-featured IEM with connectivity that just works. That's rivaling what a brand like Sennheiser is doing in this space. So looking back from the Falcon Pro to Focus Rex5, it's been quite a journey, and Noble really has achieved something in this time, both in the evolution of the sound of their wireless IEMs and in the fact that now there really isn't very much of a caveat about the features. And what Rex5 has really done here is fulfill that original promise. Wireless convenience and audiophile sound, only now that wireless convenience matches up to what more mainstream brands are offering, and those audiophile features have taken a step up as well, giving you the hearing test, the sound customization, and a really surprising breadth of EQ options here that really let you tune it in. I think Rex5 might be the best all-around hi-fi TWS we've seen yet. Thanks for watching. You can check out Rex5 and a lot of other great products at bloomaudio.com. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll be back soon with more high-fidelity audio content.